when a millionaire fashion designer got murdered for an insane reason. In the early morning of July 15, 1997, when the world-renowned fashion designer Gianni Versace took a stroll to pick some magazines, his Versace's empire was worth $807 million. That's close to $1.4 billion by today's standards. Anyway, with 130 boutiques all around the world, life was just going perfect for this 50-year-old man. But he had no clue that he had just taken the last stroll of his life. While returning home, as he began climbing the stairs of his mansion's entrance, he was shot right in the head, twice at point-blank range. Why was Gianni Versace killed? Family feud? Business rivalry? Extortion gone wrong? Complicated love life? Well, the answer is about to make you go, "What?" Before we jump into what led to the murder of this famous man, let me quickly tell you a little bit about him and his achievements. Gianni Versace rose from humble beginnings in Italy. His first inspiration for the art of fashion designing was his mother. He grew up observing his mother craft dress designs in her own boutique. At the age of 26, Gianni reached Milan, worked with quite a few big names of those times, and soon he opened his own company, Gianni Versace Spa. His elder brother Santo was made CEO, and younger sister Donatella got the post of VP. Within a decade, from 80s to 90s, the Versace brand became synonymous with sexuality and sensuality. The brand's creation stood in line with products considered as style statements and status symbols. Gianni Versace's fashion show would have the opening and reception of rock concerts. Gianni had arrived, and his products and shows were ruling the fashion streets around the globe. The late Princess Diana, Elton John, and even Madonna were frequently spotted dressed up with Versace's design. However, while Gianni Versace was climbing the ladder of fame based on his talent and business sense, there was another entity, an obnoxious man who was desperate for easy money and free fame. Instead of putting in the required work or talent, he was trying to piggyback his way to the top by being friends and, at times, simply claiming to be friends with successful people. And that sinister dreamer was Andrew Cunanan. As a kid, Gianni grew up drawing inspiration from his mother to enter the world of fashion designing, while Andrew grew up studying in a private school where most students belonged to wealthy families. Gianni spent time learning an art. Andrew put efforts to fashion colorful stories for his rich classmates just to fit in and get treated as a rich kid. One of Andrew's stories portrayed his father as an Israeli millionaire and aristocrat residing on Fifth Avenue, the most famous street of New York. When Gianni was working with the most legendary talent of his time, Andrew was making a place for himself in a circle of wealthy elderly men hailing in a gay neighborhood of the Castro district. For a while, life was going excellent for Andrew too. He had hooked up with a wealthy lover, quite older than him, and this sugar daddy was throwing enough money taking care of Andrew's cushy lifestyle and all his desires. But then, something happened between the two, and the sugar daddy cut off Andrew from his relationship and money. Possessing a high IQ, being addicted to a rich lifestyle sponsored by others, and then suddenly facing the nightmare of losing it all proved a lethal combination for Andrew's psyche. Andrew tried to reconnect with one of his ex, a 28-year-old guy. Things didn't turn out as expected. Andrew ended up killing the guy with a claw hammer. Later, he moved to another lover, and soon that lover was found with gunshots on the head. Someone once said, "What has happened once may not happen twice, but what has happened twice can easily happen thrice." Soon, Andrew came across Lee Miglin, a 72-year-old real estate developer. Long story short, Lee Miglin got killed too. And taking Lee Miglin's car, Andrew drove to meet his fourth victim, a cemetery worker, and happened to kill him too. Becoming a full-fledged serial killer, eventually, Andrew made it to the list of FBI's most wanted. Gianni and Andrew's path had crossed way before Andrew had become a serial killer. They had met in some nightclub 7 years prior to Gianni's murder. When Andrew saw Gianni again for a long time, he became instantly obsessed with his fame and wealth. Andrew would often talk about Gianni in parties, claiming to be close friends with him. Till date, no clear motive has been established for Andrew murdering Gianni. As per the police reports, Andrew was diagnosed with HIV and probably this made him target gay men. It was perhaps his idea of revenge from ex-lovers and other gay guys. There's a strong possibility that Andrew was losing mental stability and he was bound to pick someone for venting his frustrations with life. Usually, Gianni's assistant would go to a cafe that was near Gianni's mansion at Miami Beach and pick magazines and whatever else was required. But on July 15, 1997, instead of sending his assistant, Gianni decided to take a stroll and pick his favorite mags. Andrew, who must have been stalking him for days, found the perfect opportunity. He allowed Gianni his last stroll, and just when Gianni took a front step of his mansion, Andrew made his move. He quickly walked up to Gianni and fired 2 shots, targeting the back of Gianni's head. A bystander and a cop tried to catch hold of Andrew, but he managed to slip away. Gianni Versace was a big name and Andrew already on FBI list of most wanted. And so a serious manhunt was set to nab Andrew. After 8 days, finally, the police found him, but it was too late by then. 2 miles away from Gianni's mansion, in a boathouse, Andrew shot himself. The serial killer managed to end one more life, this time his own. When the news broke out, nobody could wrap their heads around it. It just didn't make sense. Some random criminal kills a famous fashion designer without any clear motive and then commits suicide? Business rivalry, family feud, robbery, accident, any of those would have made sense. Versace family denied any sort of connections between Gianni and Andrew. According to them, those two had never met each other before the incident. Well, apparently at times, truth can be stranger than fiction. Almost 2,000 people were present at Gianni's funeral liturgy. He was cremated and his ashes were buried in his family vault at Moltrasio Cemetery in Italy. After Gianni's death, his siblings carried his legacy forward. Versace is still one of the top-most fashion brands all around the world. If you liked today's episode and wish to see more stories like this one, please like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the notifications. Also, please let us know what you think of our content through the comments section. See you soon with another intriguing story. Until then, goodbye and take care.